Hello and welcome to the Kayden Show, today's best country mix. And joining me right here is Leanne and Derek from October Rose. Hi guys, how are ya?
Hey,
Hey,
Kayden, what's up?
Hey, what's up? I'm doing good. How are you guys?
not too
doing
bad.
great.
That's good to hear. Good to hear. So, for those that don't know you guys, kind of tell everyone a little bit about yourself.
Sure.
Well, we are a country duo. We're based out of New Jersey and Nashville, and we've been at it for almost 6 years. We formed in 2016. So we play a lot on the East Coast. We play all over the country, actually. But yeah, we're based here in New Jersey and Nashville.
Well, that's awesome. So, what made you guys want to do music?
Good question.
Well, I think we both came to it kind of separately, and now we're doing it together, which is great. But it all started both when we were kids. When I was 11, my mom got myself, my brother, and my dad all guitars for one of my dad's birthdays, actually, and we all learned together. So I've been playing guitar for a long time. Never really thought, that it would amount to being in a country duo, this many years later. But just kept with it and always enjoyed music and loved the process of creation, and that kind of led me to lean in.
Yeah, my story is a little bit different. I kind of was always singing as a little kid, but started out in musical theater and doing shows and plays, and started taking voice lessons and followed all the big singers and all those, the Whitney Houston and Mariah Carey type singers, and started to, cultivate my own voice and realized that I really like to write kind of story songs, and I felt like my voice fit country. So I, decided to write my first EP and gained some traction here in like the New York City area, and then joined forces with Derek, and now the rest is history.
Well, that's awesome. So, if you guys could do a collaboration or anything like that, who would you guys choose and why?
So the one thing is, I'm lucky I get to have my dream collaboration every time I step on stage. So that's the one great thing about being in a duo. We can cover a lot of ground with both our voices and what we bring to the table. But there's definitely some really, really talented artists out there that we admire. And it's so hard to pick. I don't know. What do you think, Leanne?
Oh, I would love to collaborate with Dan and Shay, Carrie Underwood, if I had to pick my own, but I think we've said that before, Dan and Shay.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be cool to do something with some classic rock guys too, to kind of bring that into the mix, maybe like Def Leppard or something like that, and some 80s metal.
That'd be really cool, doing like a country rock type things, but for someone that's actually rock and actually country.
Yeah, combining the two would be great.
Right. And it's more, that's awesome because, country and rock kind of comes in from the same band, but it would be awesome to hear two sides of it. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we like to throw in a little bit of that 80s influence into our music. So, our new song, Nothing But Neon, has kind of that 80s pop vibe, but we have toyed with doing some like metal sounding country songs. Not gonna lie.
That we have.
That's awesome. So tell us a little bit about Nothing But Neon. Why did you write it and all that?
Well, so one night I was in the bedroom ironing a shirt, and I just had the phrase like nothing but neon in my head for some reason. It just kind of came to me, and I had a little melody for it, and I ran into the living room and I was like, Derek, like, what do you think about this? And then he kind of changed it up a little bit, and which made it sound way better, which he usually does. And then we just like kind of wrote it really pretty quickly. It came pretty easily. But it's basically one of those after a breakup, girl goes out, wants to get drinks with her friends. So it's kind of like anthemic in that it's a sing into your hairbrush kind of, upbeat song for any girl who's just, or guy who just wants to forget their problems and listen to kind of an upbeat song.
Yeah, I think when Leanne has divine inspiration like that, I just try to get out of the way and capture as much of it as I can, because when she gets on a roll with songs like that, and that's really what it was. She was on such a roll, that we knocked that song out really quickly, and it felt good the whole time, and it still feels good. You know, we just started playing it with our band and everything, bringing it into the mix, and it's great to kind of hear it with all the instruments together, and instead of just playing it acoustic on our couch and seeing it come to life.
Yeah.
Definitely, for sure. So, any other new singles or projects you guys are working on?
Absolutely. We're working on the biggest project of our career this year, which is our wedding.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you. We're getting
Thank
married
you.
this summer. And with that, we actually wrote a song for each other, in fact.
Oh.
And we are currently in the studio working on that song to get it ready for the wedding. So our fans can kind of come with us on our journey. You know, we've been on this journey together for going on 6 years now, and you know, a lot of our fans have been with us on that journey, and now more are joining. And you know, we'd love to show them what we're up to, and kind of bring them into our lives.
Bring a little bit
more.
of real life into it. Absolutely. In addition, one of our songs, Heart Can't Lie, which we released a few years back, has sort of found a little bit of a momentum on TikTok and Facebook Reels. So we're going to be releasing a new version of that song pretty soon. And we have some other songs in the works for after the wedding song. So stay tuned.
Definitely. That is really awesome. So do you guys have any influences that kind of got you into music?
Of course.
How much time do you have?
Why don't we narrow it down just a tad?
Why don't you start, Leanne?
I grew up listening to everything from Celine Dion, like I was saying, Whitney Houston, Mariah Carey, big Broadway singers, Barbra Streisand. So those are really my influences. I'm a huge Celine Dion fan. You know, and I really love Faith Hill. I love Faith Hill growing up and still do. So, you know, anybody who had like big vocals, I was always trying to emulate and be like and look up to. So yeah, those are my influences.
You know, it's funny, like we've told these stories pretty frequently on interviews, but like one thing that Leanne never says is the first song she ever sang was what, a Tammy Wynette song when you were a kid?
Yeah, and karaoke. I did Stand By Your Man. I'm like 8 years old or something.
She's like singing like about deep topics at 8. So
okay.
So she was country from the get-go.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, for me, I didn't start country. I was obsessed. I guess you can kind of tell now from the way I dress, but I loved rock and roll, especially like the 80s rock and roll. Seen like basically all the bands that I could when my dad used to take me out to concerts. So I came from kind of a rock background, and you know, so my favorite bands like, you know, Def Leppard, I love them, Guns N' Roses, Bon Jovi, kind of that style of music with the big guitars and big hair. Now, like, you know, country in today's world is the best way to get your story across. And so, you know, years later, when I kind of matured a little bit, I found that, you know, the singers like Chris Stapleton that are, you know, singing from the heart, you know, a lot of raw emotion kind of have really inspired me. Kip Moore has inspired me with his storytelling. And, you know, earlier on, it was Kenny Chesney and Toby Keith that really brought me into country music. So we've just taken so many different elements from all the music we listen to and try to incorporate them as much as we can into our music now.
Definitely. And I can tell that you're rock. You're into rock. You're right. You know, just the way that you're like, you know, I could probably easily choose. Okay, Leanne's country, Derek's rock. I'm not gonna lie. So kind of tell me, how did you guys come up with the name October Rose? Like, why October Rose? I'm very curious to hear it.
Yeah, that's a good question that we get a lot. Well, back in 2016, when we were looking to choose a name, you can imagine it's pretty hard to come up with a name. And we formed our duo in October. So around that time, we had been playing with a bunch of ideas, and they all kind of like sounded like Little League baseball players. Like, let's call ourselves the Crushers or something. Like, like that, which is a good name, not for us.
Yeah.
You know, because the name has to fit and it has to speak about who you are. And we were toying with using Rose in our name because it's a family name, and we like roses. Like,
Good symbol.
you know, it was weird. We had a piece of paper on our kitchen counter. I mean, I didn't live with him at the time, but we wrote down like October goals, and just the word October had been like peeking out on the Post-it. And I looked down, I was like, what about October Rose? Like, we had just been doing all this stuff to form a duo, and
it was like an
we're
aha
like,
moment.
ding!
Yeah.
You know, we're like cooking or something. And so
Yeah.
I don't know.
It just felt right at the time, and you know, it still feels good. The thing about it is people, it's kind of sounds familiar. So if you're just getting introduced to us, you feel like you know us already, but you know, you might not. And it just has a good comfort level to it that, you know, I think responds well with people.
Oh, totally. And it's one of those things that it's different and most importantly, unique.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I agree. So, what advice would you give someone who might want to start singing or be in a duo or anything in music?
Yeah, we usually like to tell people, so if you're a singer and you're serious about singing, the first thing you should do is get with a good vocal teacher, because if you don't have your voice right, it's like training and being like an athlete. Like, you can't run the marathon, you know, without training and running every day. So singing every day, taking vocal lessons, learning everything you can about being a vocalist is really important. And then after that, there's a lot in the business that, you know, goes with it, being an artist, taking care of yourself, and all the business aspects. But I would say number one, develop your voice, keep your voice healthy, and do one thing every day that moves you further to your goal, and be really clear about your goals.
Yeah, that's great advice. And the other thing I would say, and this is just, you know, we learn this every day. It's like, kind of try to take a long-term view on your career, because, you know, even we like want it all day one. Unfortunately, it rarely happens like that, and you have to fall on your face a lot of times, and be rejected a lot of times to get ahead. So, you know, don't feel bad if you don't get picked for whatever it is, because as long as you keep going, there's always going to be more and more opportunities, and you just got to stay strong.
Absolutely. And that is wonderful advice, I gotta say.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah, you're most welcome. So if someone was to write a song about you guys, or Leanne, Derek, or any of you, what would they write about?
Probably, yeah, I mean, right off the bat, just the love that we have for each other as a couple. You know, we're a musical duo, but we're also a couple first. Like, we share all of our life moments together, and I think anybody who knows us would see that love is very evident, just in the way that we look at each other and love each other. And I'm not trying to sound like braggy or anything like that, but I mean, people just can pick up on it, and I think that's probably what they would write about, to be honest.
It would probably be like the cheesiest song of all time, because that's kind of like what we are. We're just like kind of like nerds, and we love music, and we love each other, and we, you know, found our rhythm together, and it doesn't always come across as comfortable for other people, but, you know, we just, you know, we love being together, we love singing together, and just going through life together, and it's really been the greatest blessing. And
now I'm teary-eyed, so thank you very much. Didn't bring Kleenex.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
Sorry.
It's okay, honey.
Like, you know, it's all good.
All right, continue.
I'm working on my vowels, so, you know, I'm just
right.
Oh my
It's like, this isn't even the vows.
Right.
What is that gonna be like?
So what do you guys like doing outside of music? Do you have any hobbies or anything like that?
Oh, we love to watch movies. We love to eat good food. We're kind of like pizza connoisseurs, so we've been trying to find some different pizza like every weekend when we don't have a show.
Or when we do have a show.
When we
You
do
just
have
got
a
to be
show.
careful eating pizza before big gigs.
Yeah.
Not great for the vocals sometimes.
But yeah, we like to travel here and there and, visit with family and stuff like that. So we're pretty normal outside of singing, I'd say.
Yeah, typical. There you go.
I mean, who doesn't like pizza? I don't know.
Very, very 100% true. Definitely. I do see that you guys have a couple tours coming up. Do you guys want to talk about that?
Yeah, I mean, we're going on the road. We're actually we were scheduled to play a show up in Boston. Unfortunately, we had to cancel it for unforeseen circumstances, but we'll be in Pittsburgh next week, ticketed show. And then we're hitting the road. We're going out to North Dakota this summer. We're playing the German Shore. Yeah, we're doing a big festival in North Dakota with like Granger Smith and Cameron Marlowe. We're really excited about that. It's first time going to North
be our
Dakota.
first time in North Dakota. So we're excited to see what that looks like. And we're also playing in the Northeast area. We're playing Jersey Shore at Seaside Heights with 1,000 Horses at the end of the month. And got some other county fair dates in Pennsylvania and New York, and who else knows? We're adding dates every day, so you gotta check out our calendar at octoberrosemusic.com if you want to be up to speed on wherever we'll be.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Little bummed that you guys won't be in Boston because that's in my little area, but
we just found that out today, unfortunately, so we will be announcing that, but we're really bummed about it. But we are rescheduling the date, so
we'll be back.
Stay tuned for that.
Oh, awesome. That's good. I'll definitely keep my eye open for it.
Yeah, great. We'll let you know.
Awesome. That'd be awesome. So is there a message that you would like to give your fans or anyone listening or watching this, guys?
Well, I just honestly would like to say how grateful. I mean, I think I can speak for Derek. We're just really grateful. We've had such a beautiful year in terms of growth on social media, on TikTok and Facebook Reels, Instagram too. And we just want to thank everybody out there who supports us, because like we can't do it alone. We're independent artists, and every day is a blessing that we get to do what we love to do. And the fans have been amazing with their positive feedback, and we just really like thank you so much. Like that's the only thing I could say is like a message.
We so appreciate everyone who's watched the videos and especially streamed all the music. Like the one thing is, like, artists, we just we put a lot of pressure on ourselves to create music, and just to see that it's appreciated means the world to us. So thank you for that. And if you're fans of anybody else, always just even give their music a listen, because even if it doesn't, most of the time it doesn't cost anything, but taking the 3 minutes to listen to the song, it like really is just amazing.
And even if you're not a fan of an independent artist, still listen to it. Why not?
Yeah, why not?
So I mean, that's all I can say, because that's how they generate their money there, by streams. So
yeah, we know everybody is out there working so hard. Like maybe just as hard as we are, maybe more, maybe less, but still, like, everyone's out there putting themselves on the line, and it's a lot of work to do.
It is. Oh, absolutely. I agree 1,000%, and it's for anybody that's not really well known. So
sure,
I have to agree 1,000%, like I said. So where can people find you guys on social media?
Well, our website is octoberrosemusic.com, as Derek mentioned before. We're on TikTok and Facebook, October Rose Music, and October Rose Country on Instagram. We're also on Twitter, and anywhere else. Bands in Town, you can track us on Bands in Town for our tour dates. Yeah, check us out. We're on Spotify, Apple Music, Pandora, all the streaming platforms as well, and YouTube.
Awesome. Is there anything that I forgot that you guys want to mention?
No, we want to thank you for having us on.
Yeah, thanks so much for talking with us.
Oh, absolutely. It's my pleasure. And again, I would like to thank October Rose, for taking the time to come on the Kayden Gordon Show. Today's Best Country Mix. We truly, truly appreciate your time so much.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.